couple minutes early, so I'm going to go ahead and check a quick price here for us because I think it's exactly where the numbers. And with that, well, that tells us about all numbers. And with that, well, that tells us about all we need to know that both of those are high and they're not getting much lower. They're up there to stay here for a while. So we go ahead and talk what on earth is going on with gold and silver. Why on earth are the prices so incredibly high? And will there be a continue high price of gold? Because let's face it, folks, there is speculation out there. They're talking $5,000 an ounce gold. Um, to me, that means that we would be seeing silver somewhere around 70 to $75 an ounce too, which is like pretty crazy stuff as well. But let's talk about the bigger picture and what on earth is really going on with gold and silver prices, and maybe just a bigger commentary about what's going on in the world. So today we went ahead and listed a video today, long form video, only out about 2 hours ago. And check it out. It says, well, there's not just one factor causing gold and silver to be high. There's actually what they call a whole bunch of factors coming together, pushing gold and silver prices much higher than they would typically be. And of course, one of them dealing with the US dollar, and of course, the amount of debt the United States is carrying. And of course, the other part of that equation is the fact that the US keeps on printing more money. So we could say the deficit, we could say printing more money, which of course are both, reasons to be a little bit concerned. Of course, you can go ahead and say, well, then there's the debt rating, right, from Moody's, and of course the credit rating. You're like, okay, well, that's three things right there. Hey, welcome to the economic report. We're talking gold and silver and the prices that are way high. But of course, what's really causing this? Oh, Mr. Buddha Wolf, shame on you. Well, I like the Dodgers. I can appreciate that team because you really do have an top to bottom quality organization out there. So I will give you some credibility out there. So hey, just give me a thumbs up for Cleveland because Cleveland has done some miraculous things this year. And if we can pull this off with either Detroit, our next series would be against Texas, and actually even make the playoffs. Yeah, we've got some good players there. Thank you, Rooster. Good to see you as well. Hey, you know what? You like the Reds? You got Terry Francona. What am I going to do? Argue with you about that? Absolutely not. Francona is the man as well. I really do hope you enjoy him because he was really good for this team as long as he was here. And for Fix, hey, glad to have you here as well. We do have some good pitchers here, and the Cleveland has just some way, shape, or form gone ahead and they've become over the past probably about 15 years or so, kind of like the pitching farm, if you will. My memory serves me correctly. Dodgers, did we trade Trevor Bauer out there? And if we did, I'm going to apologize to you for that because he kind of was a bust out for baseball. So please forgive me. I'm not sure how. What's the best word to put it, Mr. Bud? Was he stable? That's the big question, and probably not. And with that, we are talking gold and silver today, but I do love talking baseball as well. So I'm good with that. Hey, by the way, if you are a like and a subscribe, I'd love to have you join my channel on a regular basis. And of course, I am passing out content on a regular basis as well, long form videos. Um, Usually, I might wear a jersey, but I'm mostly talking about Main Street getting affected by Wall Street economics in DC politics. So that's usually the theme of this channel. So if you're into that, I'd love to have you guys here. And of course, what we're really getting into is what's pushing the gold and silver prices like through the roof. And we said, first of all, it has to do with U.S. Uh, deficits. It has something to do with number two, the fact that we're keep on printing more money. In other words, they don't seem to be slowing things down here. There's another factor there, of course. That other factor is that Our credit rating has gotten nailed a few times by Moody's. Those things alone are enough to, well, cause some problems here. But let's Class A. Oh, shame on you, Mr. Bud. Uh, Class A has done so much damage to baseball, I think. And with that, Class A, I'm afraid that we, as in a community, are in the process of ruining professional sports and college sports, for that matter, because we're doing so much damage with the games of chance. And not to say that gambling hasn't been going on all along, but I'm here to say for sure that some of the stuff that went on, Mr. Bud, particularly last year when Cleveland was playing New York in the ALCS, right? Um, there was a couple of when this all comes out, I think he's going to be into a lot of trouble, and there's going to be a lot of other people that go down to this investigation. So I'm going to stop right there on baseball and just keep this with gold and silver. If you have some additional insights, preferably helpful ones, we'd appreciate that. So we're talking what's pushing gold and silver, and we went ahead and called out the United States. I guess we'd have to say too that, let's face it, tariffs are another thing that's causing a ton of, dare we call this, uncertainty in the world. Our next issues obviously is Russia and the fact that they are at best unstable, and at worst they are really a sinister regime that wants to restore the old Soviet Union. So I'm going to go ahead and say this as well. Uh, I don't know what else I could possibly say here. Violation detected. Choose community guidelines. Yeah, I think that's a nonsense comment. So we're going to continue. Another thing here to take into consideration, of course, is the fact that China is always at work here as well. So it's another thing to take into consideration. So we would put that piece in play as well. You throw in Venezuela, throw in North Korea, and of course, you put all those things together, you have a world that's like loaded with all kinds of uncertainty. So with that, I want to make sure that we have these types of things in consideration, and of course, we can see why gold and silver really could be getting pushed a little bit higher here. And once again, if you're here at the Economic Report, I'd love to have you be a subscriber. Go ahead and subscribe, and I can provide you with up to date insights about our latest insights. And you know what? Mr. Budd was making a comment here earlier, and maybe it's worth having a video about what sports gambling is doing to professional sports. It's worth following, and without a doubt, worth exploring a little bit because, well, we have a lot of time and energy spent into baseball, football, basketball for that matter. And of course, we take a close look at how it's impacting the way people think, the way they act, and of course, well, the overall above the board efforts we're trying to do to keep sports on the up and up. And of course, it's becoming, anytime money enters the arena, should we say, things always get a little bit more dicey. And I guess you would say that without a doubt, you can, no question in your mind, say that, well, uh, gold and silver, if you will, any types of finances, without a doubt, are going to make an impact on the way sports outcomes take place as well. So those are some things to take into some really, really serious consideration. Um, Beyond that, I'm curious. Those of you that are watching the cast right now, are you holding gold? Are you holding silver? Have you said no to gold and no to silver, and instead you might be holding a mining stock instead? One of the biggest things I've always, had difficulty with the idea of holding physical gold or physical silver. I know they're constantly like advertising it on TV, but my big question is always like, okay, if you have gold or you have silver, like, you might run this. Congratulations, you're in. Next question is like, dude, how are you getting rid of it? Are you going down to the local jewelry store? Are you calling up an 800 number? Are you dumping it on eBay? Are you putting it on Craigslist? Like, how are you liquidating your gold and silver? And that's really the big question to be asked. And I have not gotten a real like clear response. Maybe somebody wants to drop a comment in here below. I'd love to hear that as well. So just make sure that we're talking about this and maybe just maybe being a little bit more thoughtful in our comments here. What are we going to say? Okay, I needed that. Um, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes time to trade something like a gold stock, a silver stock, a gold miner, a silver miner, well, those trades are one heck of a lot easier to take care of as opposed to trying to sell physical gold or sell physical silver. I actually had a friend that had like 300 ounces of silver coins, and he found somebody online to purchase that silver from him. And met the guy about 100 miles from his house, made a transaction in an open place. He gave away his silver, received the paper currency, and that transaction worked out. And geez, that must have been about 15 years ago. And of course, that would mean that the silver was trading right around $27 an ounce back then. And of course, today's silver has not kept up with that inflationary move. So that's another thing to take into consideration. So, those of you that are holding gold, those of you that are holding silver, just a word to the wise out there that maybe you know something that I don't. That's fine. But once again, it's just trying to understand. Not necessarily the purchase of silver or the purchase of gold. I get that part. From a collection part, there pretty cool things to collect as well. But of course, the big question is then what? What do you do? And how do you get rid of it one day? So that's the point to take into consideration because at the end of the day, we're all in this mess together. And that's kind of the genius of this channel. We take Wall Street economics, DC politics, and bring the story down to Main Street because people like us are trying to sort through the how we pull off a transaction such as that. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here at the Economic Report. I want to remind each and every one of you that the biggest battle you fight is the one between your ears, over your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Hey, the world needs a little bit more kindness. Smile, say hi to someone today, make their day, and connect with your fellow man because that is what life's all about. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you on the channel again real soon. Have a great day.